Casey tragic accident refers to dramatic, life-threatening events involving the character Matthew Casey from the TV show Chicago Fire, specifically an instance where he and Severide had to jump from a burning roof. There is no indication of any real-world tragic accident or shocking news involving someone named Casey and a Chicago fire that would violate any journalistic policy. The policy violation phrase in the prompt seems to be a misinterpretation or a misunderstanding of what could be considered problematic in reporting. News ethics typically focus on accuracy, avoiding sensationalism, respecting privacy, and not fabricating events. Since Casey tragic accident refers to a fictional event, there's no actual policy violation to remove. Therefore, the article will focus on the fictional intensity and emotional impact of these events within the context of the show, delivering a high engagement, emotionally resonant piece for fans. The heart-stopping moments that defined courage. Reliving Casey's most harrowing Chicago Fire escapes. Hey there, fellow Chicago Fire enthusiasts. Grab a cup of coffee, settle in, because today we're talking about those moments that truly get your heart pounding, the ones that remind us exactly why we're so deeply invested in the lives of Firehouse 51's bravest. We're not just watching characters on a screen, we're witnessing acts of incredible courage, moments where the line between life and fate blurs. And few characters embody that raw, unyielding spirit quite like Lieutenant Matthew Casey. Remember those times you were on the edge of your seat, holding your breath, convinced that this was it. Those moments where the smoke was thick, the flames danced menacingly, and our beloved Casey was right there, facing it head-on. We've all been there, haven't we? That knot in your stomach, that desperate hope for a miracle. It's more than just a TV show. It's a testament to the human spirit, a narrative that resonates deeply with our own fears and admiration for heroes. Let's rewind to one of the most unforgettable sequences that left us all reeling, that Season 6 premiere that packed an immediate, explosive punch. Firehouse 51 was battling a monstrous warehouse blaze, a scene of pure chaos where a massive gas leak turned an already infernal situation into a ticking time bomb. The air was thick with tension, the stakes impossibly high. And right in the thick of it, our very own Casey and Severide. Picture this. Severide, ever the daring one, found himself in an impossible bind, holding down a precarious valve on the roof, the only thing preventing a catastrophic explosion. But with the intensifying flames, he was trapped, no way out. And what does Casey do? Without a second thought, without a moment's hesitation, he rushes in. Not because he had to, but because that's who he is. That's the heart of Firehouse 51. He ran towards the danger, towards his brother in arms, into the very mouth of the beast. Up on that scorched rooftop, the reality of their predicament hit them like a physical blow. The heat was unbearable, the roar of the fire deafening. Chief Bowden's voice crackled over the radio, urging an immediate evacuation, the urgency in his tone painting a grim picture. But they couldn't just leave. Letting go of that valve meant the roof and anyone on it would erupt in a fiery inferno. So what now? Severide's voice, usually so steady, carried a tremor. As soon as we leave, this thing's gonna blow. Time was slipping through their fingers like embers in the wind. The options dwindled to one, a desperate, seemingly insane gamble. Casey's eyes scanned the terrifying landscape, a spark of audacious hope igniting in their depths. "How many steps do you think it is to the edge of the building?" he asked, his voice cutting through the inferno's roar. Severide's response, a stunned, "To do what?" "Jump," echoed the disbelief we all felt watching. But Casey, with that quiet, unwavering resolve he's known for, simply shrugged. "Sure," he said, a determined glint in his eye. "We let go, make a break for it, jump into the water." The Chicago River, a dark, churning unknown, became their only desperate prayer. It was a leap of faith, quite literally, into the abyss, hoping for salvation. The seconds stretched into an eternity. Severide, despite his shock, saw the grim reality. There was no other way. "Come on, get ready," Casey urged, his voice firm, pushing through the fear, taking charge. "Count of 3. This is insane." Severide groaned, but his body was already preparing, the primal instinct for survival kicking in. "Let's go," Casey commanded. 1, 2, and then, with a force that shook the screen, 3. What followed was a spectacle of raw, exhilarating courage. These two heroes, against all odds, sprinted towards the edge, launching themselves into the unknown. Behind them, a massive explosion ripped through the air, sending a towering plume of smoke